Hi friends, I am Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. Before starting with today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. Friends, in the series of data structures and algorithm linked list hands-on, let's learn how to do the get and set methods today. So what are these get and set methods? Like how can we get a value by giving the index from a linked list, and also if we have the index, how to set the value means how to update the value in that particular index in a linked list. These two things that we will see the hands on today. So friends, I am just opening one of the Python online compilers. You can just Google and take whatever is available for you now. So in the previous classes we have written the code for node and linked list. I'll just take it. So this is the node for creating the new node. Then this is the linked list class where we are just initializing the things, and we are having one function here which will display the elements in the linked list. Okay. Now let's see the get method. Okay. So now this is a sample linked list that we are seeing from last classes, right? Some of the classes. So now let's say if we are getting the value, means we are trying to return a node which is present in the second index. Let's say which whatever value present in the index 2. Here we have this index 2, right? So what is the value here? 30 is the value and the index is 2. Now how to get that? So here for getting or for returning a node which is present in that particular value, we have to consider a few things. So first thing is, here when we say we are like we wanted to return the node which is particularly present in that index. So which means that we have to pass the index, correct? When we say if someone is passing the index to a function, then for that, but if they send 2, we will return 30. If they send 4, we will return 50. If they return 0, we will return 10, correct? So we are taking the input from the user here, means whoever uses that function. So because we are getting the input from the user, we have to do some validations here. What kind of validations? Let's say the index that we are getting here from the user as input to this function, let's say that is a negative value. Here the index starts from 0 here, like we all see here, right? This is the 0 index that we can see here. It starts with 0, and this particular linked list, it is there till 4th index, means total 5 elements are there, which is 0 to 4 indexes, correct? Now let's say the user is entering negative values, -2 or -1. So what we have to do? We have to return false, means we have to say that it is invalid, correct? Whatever index that they are trying to set is invalid. So that case we have to check before implementing this get method. And another one is, let's say here we have the indexes till 4 and the user sends 5. Get me the index of 5. Then we don't have 5th index here. We have only from 0 to 4. So what we have to do? If the index is lesser than 0, if the index is greater than what already is present, correct? Then in that two cases also we have to make sure, we have to consider while writing this function. Got it? So now let's try to write this one with whatever we have. Now definition get. So here we have to pass the index as we discussed, right? We'll pass the index here. Now we have to check that if index is less than 0, because it should not be negative values, correct? Or the index is greater than the length. The length, correct? What is the length of that self dot length? Correct? It should not be greater than the length. Whatever is the length, right? So then what we have to do? We have to return none. False, correct? So that validation we can do it here. Now Next, take the second case. Now let's say we have received the correct index which is between this whatever indexes that we have. Then what we have to do is we have to check for each index, correct? We should go to that particular index and then return the value. So for that what we have to do, we have to start from this head, correct? Whatever iterations that we are going through the linked list, we have to start that from the head. So we will say current, we will take a temporary variable called current and we say that as self.head. So from here we are going to start our iteration. That's why this head pointer is there, right? So that we are assigning it to the current variable. Now we have to like iterate through this entire linked list, right? Here we can do two things. One is we have the current variable right now. We can check if the current is reaching to none, or we can iterate, because now as we are talking about the indexes here, right, we can have one for loop for this range as well, range of these indexes. Both are fine. So in the previous videos we have seen the while loop multiple times, right, while with the condition. So now let's do the similar with for loop. So for you, I'll just explain you why I used underscore here. Okay, now here two things. First one is when we are giving the index as 2, we don't even have to iterate till none, correct? That's why it's for loop is better in this case, first thing. Second thing is we can stop it, we can stop our iteration in the index that we are trying to return the node, first one. Then the other thing is when we are using some for I, usually variable that we use in the for loop, right? So if we are using that I in somewhere in within the for loop, like print I or I equal to I into I or whatever reason, if we are using that I, then we will put it as for I in range, correct? But here we will not use the I here. That's why I am using this underscore here. Okay, we can use I also, no problem, but actually we don't use that. Current equal to current dot next, we are iterating till the range, correct? We are iterating till the range and then every time, and once we reach that index, whatever index we are trying to do in this for loop, right, then we will return that node, return current. So here what are we doing? For we are iterating through till the range only, not till the end. And then we are going current dot next, means here this is the current. Now head equal to current, we have already, current equal to head we have already assigned. Now we are moving step by step. We are going to the current equal to current dot next. Is the index same? No. We are going to the current dot next. Is the index same? Yes, we have received. So we are returning that current. Okay, so in the for loop we are iterating until we get this range, because till here only it will iterate till the index. If it is reaching 2, then it will return. Okay, now this is how we will write the get. So let's run and see how it behaves. ll1 equal to linked list of 10. Okay, now dot append is not there. Let me copy from whatever we have already done so that we can add a few uh, elements to the list. Dot append of 20. Dot append of 30. ll1 append of 40. 50. I have added everything. Now we say dot display. Correct? Now let's run this. Okay, that's because of the indent. Now let's run. I think this is itself, if you see, out of that index. That's why. Okay. Indentation is very, very crucial in Python. Now if you can see, we have created a linked list with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then finally that pointer is pointing to none. Okay. Now let's say get method of 2. We were talking about 2, right? So when you say run, we should print, right? Print get 2. Now because it is returning that we need to have the node, but now we have to have the value, so we can do this. And not here, actually here, wherever we are returning, right, we should say dot data. Okay, now here you can see 30 because this is in the second index. 0, 0th position, index, first index, second index, and here we are trying to get of 2, means we are passing the index as 2, so it is returning 30. And the same, if I just run for get 3, it should return 40. Okay, now you can see 40 is returned. So we have to consider this corner cases, like if the index is lesser or greater than this one, and then we will assign the current variable, and then we through the index of the range, right, because we are giving the index as 2 here, it doesn't have to iterate through the entire linked list. That's why we have used range here. And we are just moving the pointer from current to the current dot next, so that it can iterate till the range is reached, and then we are returning the value here. Okay, so this is how we can do the get method. Now let's see how can we do the set method. Now till now what we have done, we have given the index, correct, we have given the index as 2, and we said that we need to see the value of the node which is present in that index 2. Now what we will do, I wanted to change the value of that index, particular index, means I wanted to set the value to this particular index. So how we can do for that? First we have to get, like, it has to iterate through the linked list for that also. Now let's say I wanted to change the value in the index 2 from 30 to let's say 35. Okay, I wanted to set the value from 30 to 35. Now what I have to do is, first what is the value, that I can get it, correct, whatever is the value is there from 30, and then change it to 35. So here for reaching that 30, we have to iterate till the index 2, right, because index 2 is what we are going to, we wanted to change. So we will iterate through this index, and then we will change the value of this. So let's write the code for that. So here I am using definition set value. Okay, here we need to have index, and we have to have the value also, right, because from 30 we are going to change it to 35. So we need both the index, and which index you wanted to change, and with what value you are going to update the current linked list. So now this is the set value method that I am writing for that. And first what we will do is, we will assign the current variable with whatever we are checking. So if we are looking for changing the second position, right, so this current value, the variable that we are saying that self dot. Now whatever, first of all we have to do that index comparison, whether index validation, whether that index is valid or not, and then we have to get the index, everything we have to do. And we have already seen in the definition get, if you see the same thing only we are doing it here, correct? That's why instead of writing this test checks everything again, I am calling this get method by passing this index value. Okay, if you don't have the get method, then within the set also you should validate the indexes, correct? You should iterate through each and every element until you reach the index value, and then you can change the value, correct? So the same thing, instead of again writing the code, I am reusing this get method here. Okay, so now with this what will happen? If here this particular position current will be pointed, correct? Because when we pass the 2 here into the get method, this is the position that current will be present. Now once we have the current, we have to check whether it can be two things, correct? If the current can be, if whatever index that we are passing, here we have seen, right, here we are returning as false when there is nothing. So in that particular, I mean here actually instead of false we can pass, actually we should pass none. Okay, so we can have none or the value, because this is a common method, it should work for anything, not only for 2, right? So in case if you are passing some index which is -1, then it should return none, correct? Because you are calling a get method. In case you are passing 2, then it should return some value which is present in the 2, correct? So it has two scenarios now. So for that we are saying that if current means if the current is not none, means if the current is available. Okay, that's when what we will do, we will say current dot data equal to this, actually here the data. So what we are doing is current is not none. If the current is not none means it is not falling to this particular if condition, it will have some value, and if that some value is present, you change that with this data. What this data is, that whatever we are passing. Clear? Now once this is done, we say return true, which says that it is the condition is successful. Okay, should be within the if. Okay, now in case if current is none or something, then return false. Okay, so this is how we can set the value. Now instead of get here, you put set of 2 comma 35 we thought, right? In the second index we will put it as 35. Now let's run this code. It's actually set value, the method name is set value. Now I think, okay, what is it? Object has no attribute data. Okay, I think in the previous due to display we have added data here, right, in the return statement. That's why it is erroring. Now I have removed it. Now let's run this. When you run this, you can see it is returning true, and let's print it post this. Okay, we are calling the set value method, and this is the display that we have before the setting value. So before setting the value it says 30. Now I am calling the display method after setting the value, and when I run this, you can see the second index value is changed from 30 to 35. Okay, now this is how we can use use get and set methods for returning a node or updating any value within the node. Okay, hope this is useful for you friends. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.